Scrooge, A Christmas Carol from 2022, a modern reimagining of the Dickens's timeless story. This version, I think, deserves a 6 out of 10. It's not awesome, it's not amazing, but it's not a bad movie either. I think this movie is quite fun to watch. It's entertaining enough to get you into the holiday spirit. And while this movie is full of energy and festive cheer, it does feel here and there that it is trying too hard to reinvent a classic that didn't really need much fixing in the first place. I mean, there are many versions of A Christmas Carol, and this is just another one to pile on top of the other ones, and it is a little bit different. I mean, the original story from Scrooge, I think everybody knows what A Christmas Carol is about. It the story talks about Scrooge, who is a mean-spirited guy. He's very unsympathetic, and he gets visited by three ghosts, one from the past, one from the future, and one from the present. And they all show him who he is, what could have been, what should have been, or what could be, if he doesn't change who he is, if he doesn't change his ways. That is what the story is about. But it is about a redemption arc for Scrooge from going from a very unpleasant man to somebody who is very cheerful and very sympathetic to other people. That is what the arc is about. So in reality, the story from Dickens, it's quite a dark story. It's a dark classic, really. And this movie, this version, actually is very bright and a very joyful take on this dark classic. I mean, the movie is very light-hearted, it radiates joy, it offers a positive atmosphere, and I would say this makes for a perfect movie to get into the Christmas spirit. This movie even has some very beautiful moments and some um, very good musical moments that I think this movie deserves a little bit more credit than some people give it. So, yeah, this movie gives a very positive tone and a very uplifting message about redemption and generosity. It is warm, it's kind-hearted, and I think this is a retelling that is perfect for kids, maybe a little bit less for adults. Even the musical numbers are full with color. The voice performances, especially by Luke Evans as Scrooge, are very strong, so a very strong voice cast. And overall, the colorful production from the visuals to the musical numbers definitely help to appeal to, I would say, younger audiences, but even for mature people, I think you will enjoy all the colorfulness and the uplifting spirit of this movie. So it is a feast for the eyes, but this movie does tend to go overboard with all the visual elements to the point of excess. Yeah, that is true. Now, this movie or the story originally is very dark. This movie is not dark at all. It is really fluffy, it's really light. So I do think if you watch this movie, don't watch it for the heartfelt emotion, the the weight of the redemption from Scrooge. Watch this movie, just to have a uplifting, fluffy movie on your screen. Watch it with that intention. So, while it aims to be a visual spectacle, it quickly shifts into somewhat of a visual chaos. I didn't really mind it too much. I kind of enjoyed it, but it doesn't really contribute much to the story. But like I said, don't watch this movie for the heaviness of the original classic. Watch it to have, a fluffy retelling of this story and you know a lot of visuals on screen. That's what this is. So the overloaded animation and visuals might turn into an overstimulating mess. If you're not into this type of stuff, then you will probably don't enjoy this movie. But if you do like a lot of visuals, a lot of color on your screen, some great musical numbers here and there, then this will be a good movie for you. But you can sense in a way that the filmmakers didn't really have enough trust in the original story's emotional power. And They try to drown it with all this overstimulating with the visuals and songs. You can definitely feel that. Nonetheless, I didn't really mind. So this movie, the result you get from this film is that it feels more like a Christmas spectacle screensaver than it feels like a very meaningful adaptation. So if you know that, then you will have a good time watching this movie. And that means we get a movie that goes for style over substance. For younger audiences, it might be engaging, it might be a very well fitted choice, but for the mature viewers, I would say yes, it definitely lacks depth, it definitely lacks rationality, it definitely lacks the emotional weight of the original story. It definitely is lacking in terms of the Scrooge's transformation, the emotional weight of the transformation, of the redemption arc. And that was the whole point of the classic. So the movie does water down the original story, and you can sense that the script is too eager to keep this movie extremely cheerful. But like I said, keep in mind, you know, don't watch this movie for the emotional weight of the story. Watch this movie for the fluffiness on screen to get into the holiday spirit. And that also means that, the redemption arc from Scrooge feels less impactful than in the original retelling of the story. It feels somewhat rushed, it feels a little bit oversimplified, and, it softens Scrooge a little bit too early. I didn't really mind. I wasn't watching this movie for all the heartfelt emotions. I thought it was just a fun movie to watch. So then we get to the music, and this is somewhat of a musical, and I do think some of these songs are actually quite good. There is one song, let me think, it is Scrooge with his future wife or his wife to be, and basically they break up or she's breaking up with him. And that actually is one of my favorite songs in the movie. It's really good actually. It's visually stunning. The song is also very good. But in general, the music in this movie feels like a mixed bag somewhat. There are some songs that do have some life to them, that do have some emotion, and there are other songs that feel like filler. That is a shame, but keep in mind that, when you watch a musical, when you watch a movie that just has a lot of music in it, how often do you get a movie where all the songs are amazing? That usually never happens. So I think if you get 5 out of 10 songs right, you're doing a good job. And this movie, in terms of music, yeah, I think it's okay. It's right there in the middle where you can say, yeah, some good songs and some songs that aren't so good, nonetheless, pretty entertaining in terms of music. So yeah, my final verdict for this movie is a 6 out of 10. Scrooge A Christmas Carol 2022. It is pleasant enough to watch for a relaxed Christmas afternoon on the sofa. It's bright, it's festive, it's full of goodwill, and it's overstuffed with visuals, and it does have a chaotic presentation. Nonetheless, I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's a good watch. So, if you're watching it with kids or simply want to watch something cheerful to fill the background while wrapping gifts, this movie definitely works. But if you're hoping for a retelling of a timeless, magical classic, a Christmas Carol, then you might want to revisit the older versions that definitely understood, well, at least sometimes understood, the actual, premise of the story. But this movie, very colorful, kind-hearted. It's a holiday musical, and it has more flash than it has feeling. So it is a fun movie to watch. 6 out of 10. I think that is a good score for this movie. But then again, what do I know about movies? I hope you enjoyed my review, and let me know what you think of this movie. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.